I am here in Rindge, New Hampshire in early November 2013, and Rindge is in the southwest corner of the state of New Hampshire in Cheshire County. It borders Massachusetts, and Rindge has a very proud history. It goes back to the 1700s, mid-1700s, and actually ancestors of mine helped to pioneer this town and also settle it, and there was a famous artist, so more famous then than he is today, by the name of Roswell Morse Shirtliff, that was born and raised here in Rindge, and one of his paintings hangs in the library. Here you see the quaint colonial village here, old congregational church that ancestors of mine went to many years ago. And here is a monument, a very modest one, to the Rindge Minutemen. Let me just read the plaque here, it's a little worn. Rindge Minutemen, 54 Rindge Patriots assembled on this common the morning of April 19, 1775, in march to Lexington, Massachusetts, in response to their country's call. Well, as most folks know, Paul Revere and William Dawes were dispatched to warn the people in the various counties west of Boston that the regulars were coming out to arrest Hancock and Sam Adams, and also seize the gunpowder and the munitions and cannons, whatever else they could. The people of Rindge at that time didn't say, well, gee, Paul Revere and William Dawes, well, they're from Boston, they're paid operatives, we should pay them no heed. No, they answered the alarm, and they served very bravely in the nation's wars. And today, there's probably a bigger threat to the freedoms of the people of Rindge and the people of the United States. It's something called UN Agenda 21. And UN Agenda 21 is being implemented at the local level, state level, county level, by entities like the Granite State Future, Plan New Hampshire, New Hampshire Listens, and an entity called ICLEI, the ICLEI, International Council for Local Environmental Initiative, founded at the UN headquarters in 1990 for the purpose of implementing the UN Agenda 21 at the local level. And Rindge had a charrette. This is what they call a visionary session. They don't like to use the word visionary session, or the term visionary session is too controversial, so they use the word charrette. A nice little brainstorming meeting. This would have been in the spring of 2012, I believe, so it was well over a year, the fall of 2011. And this is their initial commitment to implementing aspects of Agenda 21. And what they plan to do in the village of West Rindge is sort of rezone it. That's the plan. They took money from the Housing and Urban Development, a federal entity that is working to promote Agenda 21 policies through what they call the Sustainable Development Initiative. When they use the word initiative, it always means government-inspired, not people-inspired. And the folks in Rindge, very few people knew about this, except those that were trying to bring it in, and they did to some extent. They took about $20,000 of HUD money, Housing and Urban Development. By the way, HUD is an entity that should be abolished. HUD was formed back during the Franklin Roosevelt administration in the 1930s, and it has become a monstrosity. It misallocates taxpayers' money, even without the threat of Agenda 21. It misallocates money. It sends mixed signals to the building community, you should say. And if something isn't market driven, it wouldn't be built. But when HUD comes in, it comes in with a very heavy hand. And by the way, HUD is located in Washington, D.C. They do have offices in the state. They have a full-time field officer, Gregory Carson, who has been implementing Agenda 21 policies. And many people that are promoting this have really no idea of the bigger picture, nor do they want to know the big idea. They just like the easy money, or the apparent easy money, a nice little check, so they can feel good about themselves. They don't have to pass it off to the local taxpayer. But thankfully, there have been some people out of town that have been helping the folks here in Rindge to understand. And a few of the folks who like the idea of these Agenda 21 policies take exception, the out-of-town operatives from Boston. Well, Paul Revere and William Dawes were out-of-town operatives, and they too they warned people of Rindge about a threat. And thankfully, there are many people, not only in Rindge, but around the state of New Hampshire and around the country, that are starting to pay heed and taking action. They're sort of taking their towns back. They've had enough of the handful of so-called progressives that move into a town, and most of them have funds or money, and they quickly gain the reins of government, while most people just sort of go about their very busy lives trying to maintain, trying to survive in a bad economy. And there are entities here in New Hampshire, Plan New Hampshire, Granite State Future, New Hampshire Listens, and of course ICLEI, the International Council for Local Environmental Initiative. It's just a UN founded entity. These are organizations that are pushing this. And for those who would like more information on how to stop it, I suggest one website is jbs.org /Agenda 21. You'll find all kinds of resources and information, videos, downloadable materials, petitions, and handouts, etc. Then you have in New Hampshire, you have something called the Granite State Futures with an S on the end, .org. That is sort of the counter to Granite State Future, where you'll find a lot of good information about Granite State Future and what they're doing in the various towns and the success they're having in towns all across the region.